I'm a female, and I worked at Chuck E. Cheese during my senior year of high school. Plenty of weird things happened in my time working there, but one was particularly creepy. I had already been working there for a while, and one night after school, I was working a 4 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. shift. My main job was usually to stand behind the counter and help any customers. Occasionally, I would clean stuff too, but for this night, I was mainly behind the counter. About an hour in, I remember some guy came up and started talking to me. He came off as a little too friendly and slightly creepy to me. I even wondered if he was drunk after a while based on the way he was talking. He told me he was there with his son and had given his son a bunch of tokens, so he'd probably be there for a while. I was nice and friendly back to him at first, but after he talked to me for a good 5 minutes straight, it seemed a little weird. He also started to ask me more personal questions, and once I saw there was somebody in line behind him, I let the man know I needed to help the other customers. After this, he finally walked away, but he ended up coming back and trying to talk to me some more about an hour later. I didn't want anything to do with this guy and kind of tried to avoid him after that. When it was finally almost 9 p.m. and we were getting ready to close, I happened to notice that the man was still there. He was just sitting kind of near the exit, and he was all by himself. I realized he must have been there for at least 4 hours. He was looking at me, and I quickly looked away when we made awkward eye contact. There really wasn't anybody else there besides him, so it was really weird. I decided to go out into the arcade and see if anybody else was there at all. We closed in 5 minutes now, and I would have to let anybody still there know that we were closing and they would have to leave. When I went over there, though, nobody was in the arcade at all. I returned to the front desk after that and saw the guy still sitting there and looking at me again. I thought that he said he was there with his son, but I realized maybe he didn't have a son at all. It was a creepy thought, but I really just wanted the guy to leave. I saw one of my coworkers, Aaron, start to walk over to the man and say that we were now closing. I saw the man talk with Aaron for a second, and then he left, which was a huge relief for me to see that. After that, it was 9 p.m., and I would get off in just 30 minutes. I stayed after to clean a little bit, and did my usual cleaning of the arcade area, and then some of the dining areas. When 9:30 came, I was finally done, and I clocked out and left. I walked out the front door to the parking lot, which was practically empty. It was dark and quiet out there, but as I was approaching my car, I suddenly heard something behind me. It sounded like footsteps. I kept walking, but realized that they were fast approaching me. I turned around and saw a man walking extremely fast in my direction. Almost immediately, I recognized him as the man who was talking to me inside the Chuck E. Cheese. I ran for my car, and luckily I already had my keys in my hand. I was able to unlock my car and get inside before he reached me. As quickly as I could, I locked the doors, but the man reached my window a second later and then started knocking on it. He tried my door handle as well. I yelled at the man to go away, but he didn't listen. At this point, I really wanted to drive away, but the man seemed to be holding onto my door handle. I began honking the horn on my car repeatedly. This went on for probably 30 seconds straight, and finally, I noticed a car on the road outside of the parking lot we were in start to slow down. They seemed to be wondering what was going on, and this caused the man to back away a little. As soon as he did, I sped off. I drove all the way home, and once I got home, I called my boss and told her all about it. I gave a description of the man and was told if I ever saw him again to call her. Luckily, I never did see him again. The first and only time I ever went to Chuck E. Cheese was back in the year 2005. I was a little kid at the time, and I remember that my older brother got invited to one of his friend's birthday parties, which was going to be at the Chuck E. Cheese. My parents were invited as well, so they said that I could come with. I was excited to go there because I had always wanted to. It seemed like so much fun with the arcade games, the pizza, and everything. I remember that the party was on a Sunday, I think, and when we got there, my parents got a pizza, and my brother went to hang out with his friends. I knew some of the kids that were there, but they were mostly my brother's friends, so I could kind of do my own thing. My brother's friend who the party was for was named Tyler, and his parents got a bunch of tokens for everyone. They gave me a little paper cup with a bunch of tokens in it, and I began going around playing some of the machines. I was trying to find the best machines that would have the best payout of tickets. I saw that the Chuck E. Cheese had some pretty cool prizes you could win with the tickets. After playing maybe half the arcade games they had in there, I found this one in the corner that I really liked a lot. I was getting on a winning streak, and after the second time playing it, I had quite a few tickets and played it for a third time. I was right in the middle of the game when all of a sudden, the whole thing suddenly went black and froze. It was really strange. I pushed some of the buttons and messed around with it a little bit, but nothing worked. The screen was completely black, and nothing I did seemed to affect it. I was a little kid, so I didn't really know how the machines worked, but I just figured it was broken. Then, I saw a man appear next to the machine. He was wearing a shirt with a Chuck E. Cheese logo and asked me what had happened. I told him the machine was broken, and he took a look at it and saw how it wasn't working. He pushed a few of the buttons and then went around to the back of the machine. It seemed like he was working on it, and a short time later, he returned and said that it appeared as though the machine was broken and it would be out of order for a while. Then he apologized to me and told me he could get me the tickets that I would have won and some extra tokens for the trouble. I was glad to hear this because I would have already won a good amount of tickets from the game before it broke. The guy started to walk away and told me to follow him. We went off to the side of the room and then into a hallway which led to the back. I stopped at the entrance of the hallway that said employees only, but then I was told to keep going. I followed the guy down the hall and then we reached a side door. The guy then backed up and grabbed my arm tightly. He opened the door, which turned out to be an exit of the building. I could see outside, and he pulled my arm and forced me to follow him. I asked the man what was going on, but he didn't answer me. I was starting to panic. The guy had a strong grip on my arm, and it looked like we were going out to his car. I really didn't want to go any further, and I was desperate. As we got closer, I suddenly took my leg and kicked the man right in the groin area. It really took him by surprise, and he dropped to his knees for a second, and his grip became much looser. I pulled away from the man and started running back, but I decided to go around to the front of the Chuck E. Cheese. Once I had made it around to the front, I went in the entrance doors and ran back inside to my parents. When I got there, they saw me and asked me what was wrong. After I told them what had happened, they decided to call the police and talk with the managers as well. I remember I had to talk with the police for a while. Looking back at that day, I realized that the man didn't work at Chuck E. Cheese at all, and he most likely just unplugged the game I was playing himself. I used to work at a Chuck E. Cheese. I enjoyed the job a lot. It was a fun place to work, maybe because I had a lot of good memories of going there as a kid. I would do a little bit of everything there, including quite a bit of maintenance and cleaning. One night, I was working on a quieter evening. I was in the process of cleaning up a table area when I saw a customer approaching me. I stopped what I was doing and saw that there was a pretty average-looking guy standing in front of me. The guy told me that he had just been in the men's bathroom in the back, and he wanted to let me know that it was really dirty and could use a cleaning. I told the guy thanks for letting me know, and then he walked away. Keeping the bathroom clean was one of my jobs, and it wasn't one of my favorite parts of the job, but it actually usually wasn't that bad. After I was done clearing the table, I walked down the hallway to our little cleaning closet where I got a cleaning cart that I would use for the restrooms. By this time of night, the place wasn't too busy, and there were only a few kids and parents in the arcade or eating areas. When I got to the men's bathroom in the back, I went inside and saw that it was empty and nobody else was in, which was good. But when I looked around, everything seemed fine. I was happy to see this, but also confused. The more I looked around after going all around the bathroom, I saw that it was completely clean, and nothing was dirty at all. After that, I took my cart and went to leave. But when I tried opening the bathroom door to get out, it wouldn't move. All I had to do was push it open, but it seemed like there was someone or something on the other side blocking it and holding it back, because no matter how hard I pushed, it just wouldn't budge. I kept trying, but nothing was happening. Then suddenly, all the lights went out. It was pitch black in there, and I couldn't see a thing. I kept on trying the door, but nothing was happening. I started banging on the door and yelling at that point, hoping that somebody would hear me. Finally, after about a minute straight of this, the door suddenly burst open, and I went flying out there and fell flat on my face on the other side of the doorway. I looked around, but didn't see anybody nearby. I saw one of my coworkers, Jake, not too far away, kind of walking towards me. He came up and asked if I was okay, looking confused. I told him what had just happened to me. Jake said he had seen me go through the door, and he had heard somebody yelling, and that's why he was approaching the bathroom. He said when he got towards the bathroom doors, he saw a large man running away. I was really creeped out when I heard this. I actually looked around after that for the guy who had told me that the bathrooms were dirty, but I couldn't find him anywhere. I ended up just working the rest of the night like normal after that, but I've often wondered what exactly happened there.